Hello and happy Wednesday, everybody. A couple short videos for you today on lab safety, and then I'm going to touch a bit on the scientific method. Okay, so first I'm going to do lab safety. When you are done with today's lesson, video 1 and video 2, you should have the knowledge to pass the safety test with an 80% or higher. Hopefully show a little more growth in naming and writing formulas. That's a topic that's going to take practice, and throughout the year you'll get better and better at it. Okay, so I want you to get the basics down now, and then throughout the year practice it and get better at it. And then we're going to start looking at the scientific method and beginning kind of our chapter 1 bookwork. Alright, so our homework: take and pass the safety quiz that you can access in today's Schoology, and then hopefully you finished worksheet 1.1 and checked your answers, and then start worksheet 1.2, numbers 1 through 8 on naming, and number 13 on measuring. Okay, so after watching both of these videos, hopefully we can do that, and that's doable for homework. Alright, so today let's focus on lab safety. Big thing is when you come in and complete a lab, I want to make sure everybody's comfortable, knows what they're doing, and we don't have any accidents. I've never had any major injuries, and I don't plan on that happening. Let's keep our hands clean, keep our eyes covered, follow the instructions, and we should be good to go. Okay, so when you're in the lab, completing a lab, you're wearing goggles. Okay? We don't want any chemical burns of the eyes. They're not pretty, not fun. You don't want to have one. Okay, to eliminate this, you're wearing goggles when you're completing a lab. Also, those of you that wear contact lenses, that's why that was a question for your safety contract. Try to wear glasses. Why? Just in case you touch your hand, or excuse me, touch your eye when you have contact lenses on, that contact lens is going to hold that chemical closer to your eye and cause some major damage. Okay, so we don't want to wear contact lenses on lab days, glasses, and goggles. Okay? So, if you have long hair, it must be tied back. It's always in good practice to just keep a hair tie with you in your bag, in your pencil bag, wherever, so that on lab days you make sure you have it. Backpacks, purses on lab days, keep them off the ground so nobody trips on them. Okay, I'll go over the location of these in class, but you should be comfortable with where they are and how to use them. The eye wash station, the fire blanket, fire extinguisher, first aid kit, fume hood. Okay, the eye wash station used to wash your eyes out for 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully we don't have to use that, but it's there if needed. When you are in lab, no horseplay, no messing around. We're there to do authorized experiments. If you're curious on what happens if I do something else, like what if I mix A with B? What's going to happen? I love the curiosity, and I promote that. Just make sure you okay your procedure with me before doing it. Okay? No food or drink in the lab. Never remove anything from the lab. Keep everything that's there. Anything that's not labeled, we're not using, and let me know. The only thing that's not labeled is the distilled water bottles. Okay? But everything else that you use should be labeled. Whenever you're heating anything, okay, like a test tube, point it away. So I would say this is wrong, better. Okay, I would like it even more away, but again, it's better than this. Okay, also she should be wearing goggles. Never heat a closed container. You've probably seen what happens if you've ever thrown a can of soda in a fire. You get an explosion. Okay, we don't want that to happen in the lab. Anything that has a lid on it, we're not heating. Anything that's flammable, keep it away from a flame source or a heat source. Okay? If you spill anything, if an accident happens, that's okay. Just let me know. I'll help you clean it up. Okay? We're never returning anything that's spilled back into the original bottle. And talk to me about how to clean up certain substances. Okay? A lot of times we're using plenty of water. But again, that's something I'll help you with. If an accident does happen, please let me know. It says alert the instructor. Please don't worry about that as your first step. Okay, the first step really should be take care of yourself. If you got something in your eye, begin washing out your eye immediately. I'll see that you're using the eye wash station, otherwise someone can let me know. Okay, if something got on your hand and it starts to burn, wash it off immediately. Don't feel like you need to come tell me first. Take care of yourself first, okay? Remove clothes that have chemical contamination. Now, I'm not asking you, if you spill something, to start ripping off clothes, okay? Most of the things that we use in class, if you have a spill or get a drop on your clothes, it can be washed off with water. It may stain, that's why I recommend an apron. But if it's a really strong acid or things like that, I would tell you before the lab began how to take care of it carefully and what to do in case of an emergency. Okay, so please, again, if you spill most things in lab, you won't have to start removing clothing, but simply taking care of the spill, washing it off with water, washing your hand, washing your eyes if it got in or on any of those places. Any broken glassware, please again let me know. Chances are I'll hear it, but again, I'll be cleaning that up. I don't want you picking it up with your bare hands. These are those distilled water bottles, okay, not labeled. Those are the only things not labeled in the lab. Anything that's been on fire, don't put in the trash. We put in our burn bin, which is these just cans that we have spread out throughout the classroom. Okay, so anything that's been on fire goes in the burn cans. Material data safety sheets are available for all the chemicals that we work with. Sometimes I have them printed off, sometimes they're connected to the bottle, some I have electronically. These give us information on how to handle chemicals, what personal protective equipment we should wear, how to clean up spills. They're not meant to scare you, they're meant to inform the users on how to properly handle the chemicals. Okay? If anything happens, let me know. Again, I should know about all injuries or anything, any irritations. If you get something on your skin or in your eye or anything like that, please let me know just in case it gets worse. I need to fill out the proper paperwork, okay? So anything that you're unsure about, please let me know. How to light a Bunsen burner, I'll go over these steps when we use them, and then basic lab equipment, okay? I'm not going to quiz you on this, but you should be familiar with a lot of it. Throughout the year, you'll get more familiar. Okay, we have a beaker, various sizes, Erlenmeyer flask, various sizes, graduated cylinder. Again, most things that I talk about, there are various sizes. Test tubes, held on with a test tube holder. Okay, I'll teach you how to use that in class. Use the proper test tube brush to clean out the proper test tube. We don't want to break anything. Test tube racks to hold our test tubes. Spot plates are commonly used to mix chemicals together because you don't need to mix a lot of substances together to see what happens. Watch glass, glass stir rods, obviously used to stir things up. Medicine dropper you've probably used before or seen before. Tweezers or forceps. Okay. Funnel, wash bottle, again, this is what the distilled water is kept in. It's not labeled, everything else should be. Weigh boat. Scupula, kind of like the chemist's spoon used to transfer substances from container A to wherever we're measuring them. There's different types of tongs. These are used to hold on to beakers, Bunsen burners, ring stands and their components. We use these ring stands in various ways to set up what we're doing. Okay, we can set up a Bunsen burner to heat up a beaker. We can hold on to a test tube right here, a burette, use the clay triangle. Okay, we can use this ring stand in multiple ways, and here are the various components: iron rings, wire gauze, clay triangle, burettes. We'll use these throughout the year, used to dispense liquids, especially in titrations, which we have a whole unit on. Volumetric flasks, used to precisely measure liquids, and that's the gist of it. Okay, so make sure you read through, have filled out your safety contract, you've turned that in. If you have any final questions, email me. We can set up a Zoom meeting today. And then, in today's Wednesday folder, take your safety quiz. It says take it by Friday. In reality, I'm hopefully allowing time today for you to take it. Get above an 80%. If you don't get above an 80%, take it again. That's going to be your first quiz or test score. Okay? That's the first video. I'll see you in video number 2. Take your safety quiz.